Welcome! I'm Judy LoBianco, past president of Shape America, supervisor of health and physical education, and president of HPE Solutions Consulting. Today, I'm thrilled to be here to discuss the evolution of technology and how it can help us in health and physical education. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank our friends at Quaver Ed for their support and for hosting this timely and relevant topic for our elementary health and PE teachers. It's astonishing to see how innovation has progressed in our classrooms over the course of just my lifetime. It's been truly amazing to watch technology evolve over the past 30 years. With all the tools and services we use today, it's almost impossible to imagine how we worked or even survived without them. That was a long time ago, and I remember it well. No cell phones, no computers, not even a remote control for the television when I was young. I grew up in the 70s and stuffed notebooks, pens, and pencils into my backpack each day. From growing up in an age without technology to teaching through the evolution of it, I can say that these tools have greatly impacted teaching and learning for health and physical education teachers. Today, we are here to discuss this impact and take away strategies to connect with today's youth in a way that they understand. We'll also explore tips for appropriate technology usage from Shape America's new position paper on appropriate use of technology in physical education. Some of the questions I would like to answer for you today include: why should we be using technology in health and PE? How does it benefit the teacher, the student, and the program? What is the appropriate use of technology according to Shape America? What does it look like in the classroom? How can we overcome barriers to accessing technology? Before we move forward, I want my message to be clear. There is absolutely no substitute for a caring, thoughtful, and knowledgeable health and/or physical education teacher in the classroom. No invention, known or unknown, can take the place of the human interactions that exist between teacher and student. These interactions build the foundation of every good thing that takes place in our lives: love, respect, conflict resolution, improved well-being, connectedness, and relationships. Technology will never be able to do that. But technology does have many benefits to support educators with their instruction. As proven by the evolution of the many tools available to support us, we can meet the needs of every student by relying on technology as a supporting tool and resource. To see how technology can serve as that supportive tool, let's break down the main benefits it can provide to both you and your students' learning. First and foremost, it can help us meet students where they are and motivate them around an environment where they are most comfortable and familiar. We can easily reach all learning styles and support differentiation and accommodation. Next, great tools exist to manage information. From student grades to student data to attendance to parent communication and fitness testing. Imagine life as a PE teacher without technology to support us. We can even let students be a part of this data piece by letting them track their own health and fitness goals alongside of us. In addition to connecting with students on goal setting and data, these innovations are a way to improve communication and collaboration. We can instantly reach parents and families by email, online classroom platform, communication apps, phone calls, text, or even social media posts. Technology enhances parent and family engagement, and when parents are engaged with their child's learning, the child will want to be more engaged as well. This kind of communication and connection is important. Another benefit of these tools is their ability to support classroom management. Long gone are the days of using clipboards and whistles. Today, we can have everything in one place: timers, music, kid-friendly lesson objectives, activities, and interactive components instantly appearing on a smartboard. Finally, these advances help ensure that learning is student-centered. So now, let's explore the many tools we have that are available to us and how we can use them responsibly. What constitutes the appropriate use of these tools in PE? Our national association, the Society of Health and Physical Educators, also known as Shape America, has a position paper on this very topic. In it, they discuss several important points. Number 1, is the technology relevant to national standards, state standards, and local curriculum? Any good tool is connected to a developmentally appropriate curriculum. Whether teachers are using it in social studies, health, or language arts, any technology tool must support the mission of the program. For example, if you are teaching students about the standard regarding the overhand throw, why not utilize a movement analysis app on your phone or iPad to capture a student's performance? You can then play it back for them slowly to review the skill cues rubric. What did they execute correctly? What did they miss? With this skill in particular, it was common for me to see students arching their back to throw rather than rotate their hips. What a great way to help them see what they're doing. You could even save the video and record it at a later date to compare the performances. Number 2, does the technology utilized enhance instruction? When using any device or app, it's important to ask yourself, and even your students, does this improve the quality of the lesson? The perfect example for me is the use of music in physical education. Nothing motivates a PE student to move more than listening to the beat and sounds of great music. Use slower music for mindfulness activities and upbeat music for gameplay or station work. Above all, you can throw out your whistle in the gym because music is a fantastic start-stop signal that prompts learners to put their eyes on you when the music stops. You can even let the kids have a say in the music you choose. Number 3, does it provide opportunities for all students rather than opportunities for just a few? It's important to remember that when we plan for instruction, we do that by thinking about the kids in front of us, not about the activities we want to provide or the tools that we choose. The children we teach come from different backgrounds and circumstances and levels of access. We must ask ourselves, will all students have an opportunity to interact with this tool at whatever ability level and circumstances specific to their needs? Students shouldn't be left behind because they can't gain access to specific tools. For example, if we have an activity that requires an interactive game, we can't assume that every child has a cell phone and can access game codes or interactive features. We need to have alternatives ready so that every child can play the game. Additionally, if we are setting up an online classroom for physical education, we need to make provisions to ensure that every child has the tools and the knowledge required to interact in that space. Perhaps they need a Chromebook, instructions in their native language, or a process in place where they can ask questions if they're struggling. Number 4, is the technology an effective tool for maintaining student data related to standards-based curriculum objectives? Data collection is just part of what we do. It's an essential way to help students build on their previous skills and inform them of where to go next. Tech needs to keep kids challenged and motivated. One example is the use of data for fitness testing. Data collection of a child's individual health-related physical fitness is an essential monitoring tool for PE teachers. The scores should be kept private and be used only for the purpose of providing a snapshot of the student's health for the goal of improvement. Fitness software is a terrific platform for this reporting. However, when I'm in a school and I see the walls of the gym decorated only in the names of students with the highest fitness scores, I worry about how the kids whose names are not up on the wall may feel about that. A good alternative would be to find a way to share the data of groups of students instead of individuals. For example, displaying what percentage of the grade level achieved their healthy fitness zone in flexibility, muscular strength, or cardiovascular endurance. This can serve as a roadmap for the types of activities that students can expect to see in their PE classes in order to help improve those goals. Number 5, does the technology enhance communication between teacher, parents, students, administration, and the community? Whether we're talking about writing an email, producing a PE newsletter, or engaging kids and families in a Google Classroom, teachers have an incredible opportunity for connection around a variety of tools that improve communication and give us a platform to advocate for what we do. A great example is for the PE teacher to take the time to develop a website. This is not only a great way to advocate for what you do in PE, but also to inform the community about what is happening in physical education and why our profession is so important to our students. Many of my teachers had websites that provided tabs for curriculum, helpful tips for students, reminders for PE classes, and resources for physical activity outside of school. These are terrific ways to engage stakeholders beyond our classroom. Your students will appreciate it too. After sharing the evolution, benefits, and appropriate use of technology in health and PE, I'd love to touch on the points we've discussed today. I want you to see some of these tools and strategies in action so that we can visualize what this could look like in your class. Let's explore a few resources together from Quaver Health PE's curriculum. Let's first check out part of a PE lesson on dribbling while jogging, and then dance along to one of my favorite health lesson videos. First, let's play some music! Using just a speaker or sound system, music is a great way to welcome students into class and incorporate technology. Music is also a great tool for effective classroom management. Replace that timer with music by using it as a start-stop signal to tune back in for instruction. Now, let's open the lesson overview. With a projector, large screen, or interactive whiteboard, you can have all of your student-centered objectives ready to go. You can save the statements in a platform, program, or document and reuse them year to year. Okay, let's dive into this lesson by selecting Start to see how technology can maximize time, student choice, and discussion, and build literacy skills with every tool you need in one place. In this locomotor-focused lap and discuss warm-up, the students and/or teacher have choices in the movement they perform, lap time, music speed, and what questions they want to answer. Today, we'll just select random, 10 seconds, and fast. Let's try it out. What a terrific way to support visual learners, English language learners, and kinesthetic learners with live on-screen movements and prompts. When the music and timer is in one place, it allows the teacher to focus on students rather than classroom management. Before we move on to the next activity, let's head to the menu bar and select Espanol. As you can see, technology can be a great support to students who speak English as a second language. Notice when I click the objectives, the I can statements translate to Spanish. When I select Start and Show Prompt again, all of the prompts are in Spanish as well. Since we've checked out the start of this lesson, let's continue to the main part, teaching and practicing foot dribbling while jogging. Notice the skill and instructional activity videos here. These tools help support every learner. If you have large class sizes, it's going to be challenging to demonstrate a skill or be able to reach every student. Skill videos are great tools to show kids and then keep on a loop while students are practicing. It's a great way to help them gain confidence. Instructional activity direction videos serve the same purpose. Let's explore a short clip of one now.
PE diagrams, running, dribbling, instructional activity.
This instructional activity develops balance, coordination, and foot dribbling skills while running. The equipment needed for this activity is a soccer ball for each player and dots or cones. To set up, depending on the number of participants, divide the players evenly into smaller groups. Give each group a soccer ball. Each group will form a line on one end of the play area.
What a time saver to be able to explain a game in a way that reaches every learning style in just 60 seconds. The last resource type I want to show you today is a movement video. Let's explore this and see how it can benefit students, you, and parents and families.
Sing along with me.
The 4 dimensions of hell. Come on, let's count them. Physical, emotional, social, intellectual. The 4 dimensions of hell. Let's talk about them. Physical, emotional, social, intellectual. Physical. Keep your body feeling.
Music, especially when paired with movement, helps increase our recall and cognitive function. What better way to learn concepts than through songs while participating in physical activity? I also want to showcase that resources are easy to share with parents and families. Take this activity, for example. When I click Menu and Link, I now have a link and a QR code. I can copy or screenshot it to send home to parents using whatever communication platform my school is using. Engaging parents connects them to their child's learning. It's a way to promote and advocate for health and wellness, both at home and in our communities. After seeing these examples, you might want to implement this but wonder, what if there are barriers to using technology in my classroom? Maybe you have the following barriers. You're not accustomed to using these tools. There's no space to use these tools. A lack of funding. Maybe your class sizes are too big. You know, it's important to remember that a growth mindset is an essential teacher attribute in meeting kids where they are. Although a teacher grows older and more experienced in the profession, children are still 5 and 7 and 10 years old. They're growing up in a time when technology is evolving faster than we could have ever possibly imagined. Being on the cutting edge of our field is just one more way we meet the needs of all learners. Learning about new and innovative ways to reach kids and engaging in those practices in the classroom not only improves instruction, but also shows your students that you care enough about them to learn, grow, and improve. They see it, they feel it, and they appreciate it. I urge you to push out of your comfort zone. You know, when I supervised my K-12 program and introduced lots of new tools and innovation, I remember many of my teachers having a hard time adapting to those changes. Some teachers were excited, while others felt intimidated and anxious. I described the journey as a train that was moving our program into the future, a train driven by our students. I explained that it was okay if you didn't get on the train at the exact same time as anybody else, just that you climbed on board wherever you feel comfortable. When it comes to space, funding, and class size, there are many ways to advocate for the needs of technology in your classroom. Your classroom in health and physical education is as important as any other classroom in the building and requires the same amount of attention as any other space where children are gathered. Yours is an academic space. You need to advocate for and build capacity around why technology is a critical part of a successful health and physical education program. Now, this doesn't happen overnight. It certainly doesn't happen in isolation. So I urge you to swing open your classroom door and invite your decision makers into the classroom. Let parents and families know what you're doing and how technology could make it so much better. Let them know that an absence of these tools is a barrier to a more enjoyable, meaningful, and relevant learning experience for their kids in your health and PE classes. Reach out to the decision makers and the stakeholders before you need something and before you're asking for support. Lastly, become educated about the funding streams in your school, your district, your community, and beyond. For example, did you know that in the United States, the Every Student Succeeds Act, ESSA, has a section known as Title IV Part A that provides funding to every school district for the sole purpose of enhancing student wellness? Did you know that part of that funding stream can be used to purchase technology in health and PE? Speak to your district's title coordinator to find out more. You know, back in 2009 and then again in 2013, my school district won a total of $2.74 million in federal grant funding when I was the supervisor of health and physical education. The money was game-changing, and the infusion of technology into our program was not only rapid, but intense. You can imagine that back in 2009, we were introducing innovation that most districts had never heard of or even dreamed about. Over the course of that 7 years, we transformed our program into a student-centered, standards-aligned environment driven by technology. This transition was exciting, but far from easy. I supervised 33 teachers in a K-12 setting who were all in a different place about their comfort zone around these tools. The train that I mentioned before that we were riding on included tons of consistent and repeated professional development trainings to help teachers get comfortable with what was happening to their instruction and focus on what was best for the students on their roster. We purchased heart rate monitors, activity watches, pedometers, iPads, countless apps, and even movement analysis software that could break down skills in slow motion and compare it to previous attempts. LCD projectors and screens with speakers and sound systems in every gymnasium in the district brought our movement classrooms to a whole new level. Now, the kids. You can't possibly imagine how enthusiastic our students were about the tools we were introducing. They would come into the gym bursting with excitement about what they were going to do next. I remember one such experience when a PE teacher at one of my elementary schools challenged his 5th graders to get as many steps registered on their pedometers during the class period as possible. The kids ran into the gym, positioned their pedometers, and away they went, jumping, jogging, dancing, and moving. I remember a teacher having a station in his gymnasium where students were practicing skills to music. A camera was set up to highlight individual students on a TV screen on the wall, and it made them feel as if they were celebrities. We also had Dance Dance Revolution and the Wii Fit, which were the craze of the time that motivated kids to dance and use video games for the benefit of exercise. When I think about how much further we've come since 2016, I consider the tools we used back then to be ancient. That's how fast these tools come and go. That's how quickly innovation evolves into something even better. Who knows what the future will bring to health and physical education when it comes to technology? Looking back on today's discussion and my career as an educator and administrator, there's been so much advancement in just 30 years. It's hard to imagine teaching without using any of it to support us. I do, however, want to remind you again that while the equipment, resources, and other novelties these tools provide us are fantastic, they will never be a replacement for you, the health and/or physical education teacher. Technology can't replace you, but it can make the journey a whole lot more fun. Today, we learned just how much technology has positively impacted learning in health and physical education. I hope you've taken away a few strategies to make use of all of the tech resources available to teachers today, as well as how to advocate for access to them. I want to thank QuaverEd for allowing me to join them to discuss this very important topic today. I especially want to thank all of you who are watching and listening for the life-saving, life-changing work that you do in physical education and health each and every day. Thanks for joining us.